There's something, well, I was going to say there's something I want to tell you. There's something I don't want to tell you, actually. And I considered not even mentioning it.
Is it started now?
Yep, look who's here. It's Joel.
Hey everybody, long time no see. I've been busy with my stuff. Can't doesn't pay me enough to be here all the time.
No, I don't. So what are we doing today?
Well, we're Happy New Yearing. Happy New Year, everyone.
We already did that on the last video.
Well, I wasn't here.
I know.
So
from Joel to you.
Happy blessed New Year. Pray that the Lord blesses you all this new year coming up. Today we're going to be digging a trench for yet another part of the wall that is going to lead down to, is that the vineyard?
Orchard.
The orchard. So it's going to be the orchard. Looks like you cut a bunch of them.
Oh yeah, you haven't been here since then?
No.
Yeah.
No.
These, remember there was a bunch right there?
Remember I went on strike.
I know. All right, well, we're going to get busy. We got a little trench to dig, and hopefully we can start laying some brick and maybe even finish it. If we want to be optimistic.
Let's be, hey, why not? If you don't finish, you don't finish, but there's no reason you can't believe that you can do it.
We could do it.
The first step to failure is believing you can't.
Look at where the sun is compared to the mountain. I think we can do it.
Yeah, okay.
Pull up your pants, your butt's on film. Your butt's in my shot. All right, the sun just went behind the mountain. We're still plugging away. Joel's bringing over some bricks, and I'm putting them down. So we're gonna keep working until it gets dark, and hopefully we'll be done. I don't think so. Dude!
What?
I mean on this side of the wall.
I can't throw it that far.
No, but you could walk it over.
Yeah, but now I got both of them over here. And we can be done.
And your butt's in my shot.
What's up?
Alright, look at the camera. Well, now it's going to be weird. You just switched places. Oh, hook 'em horns.
We did it. I can't say I did it.
We did it.
We did it.
It's a couple days later. Joel and I pretty much finished the wall, although as of right now, I think it needs to be a little bit longer, but it won't take too long to finish it. So here's what it looks like from this side now. Before this wall went straight across, and the base of it still does, because the wall is going to continue on that way, even though after about right here it's just going to be probably one brick and a capstone just to delineate this garden from the orchard. But as you can see now, we have the wall that goes out that way. So just a review, this will be our formal English garden. There will be a 12-foot wide bed coming from that wall over there out to the out to here, then a 12-foot wide lawn, goes all the way down, and then another 12-foot wide flower bed that goes all the way down. So this lawn in the middle is going to come down through here, and it's going to go and head out into the orchard. I was originally going to put steps here because there's quite a difference in level. However, I want to be able to bring, any kind of equipment or wheelbarrows and stuff in and out of here. And so now this is going to be a ramp. So the dirt level will be at the top of this wall on this side. And then right here, it's going to go down. Probably a little longer than this, I'm thinking now. And the wall will actually step down with it, so we'll have to reconfigure a little bit here. But that's what's good about a dry stacked wall, is it's really easy to make changes. So basically this soil level here will come, it's probably about like that, will come across. This will all be filled in with dirt, which is good because we've got a lot of dirt to get rid of up here. You can see this is the level it's going to be. It steps up here where all these pallets of stone are, and then it steps up again behind that all the way over here to this level. So this is going to be dug all the way down to the level out here. So that's a lot of dirt to move. So part of it's going to go right here, and part of it's going to go down there near the fence to kind of level this area off. So now right now, as it is, if Bill was able to come tomorrow, we would, well, no, I shouldn't say that. We've still got to get these stones off these pallets and moved way up to the top. So Noah and my nephew Tyler, I'm going to be hiring them to do that. Then, whenever Bill can come over, we'll be ready for him. Today, I am going to be planting garlic. I don't know why I'm walking this way. I'm pretty late planting it. Now, typically the rule of thumb for most areas is as long as you get it in the ground before your ground freezes, you're good. Here in Southern California, our ground doesn't freeze, and so we don't have this time limit, but it's always good at the latest to get it in before Christmas, and Christmas was, almost 2 weeks ago now. I still haven't taken this basil out because we've had a very warm winter so far, and the bees are still loving it. And so I really don't want to take it out yet. And we've got other areas we can plant in. My last video I was talking about how I was burnt out. And the sad part about that is that I hardly did any fall/winter planting. And this is the first time that that's happened in 10 years maybe. Yeah, probably 10 years. So I do have 2 beds of potatoes planted. I've got cabbage and I've got broccoli. I guess that's it. So then I'll have garlic, and I want to try to get some onions going. However, because it has been a warm winter so far, I've still got a whole thing of tomatoes up at the top. We've still got peppers growing. We've got the basil. We've got eggplant. We've got a zucchini plant up here. So it's not like there's not a garden. I think I'm going to put the garlic down here in this bed. This bed is being overrun with Bermuda grass, so I'm not ready for that yet. I want to get in here and try to rip as much of it out as I can, and then plant something in here that just has some spaces, and then put some black plastic. This is probably going to be the pepper bed for next year, and so I'll have the peppers like it hot anyway, and so I'll plant the peppers. And then I'll put the black plastic down so that it smothers out the Bermuda grass. And then I'll put some mulch on top of that. That's the plan. Bermuda grass it's a tough grass to deal with, which is why I chose the orchard grass for the pasture rather than Bermuda. Even though Bermuda would have really been a tougher grass, and it, runs like crazy, so we wouldn't have had a problem there. So I think I'll do the garlic there. Let me go get the cloves to plant. I just noticed all this hay sprouting from the straw I put around the potatoes. It's pretty easy to pull up. It's not really even hardly rooted into the ground. So before I plant garlic, I'm going to pull some of this, and I'm going to show you what I do with it. All right, any ideas what I'm going to do with this? Put it in the comments. But do it right now before I do it. No cheating. All right. This is actually a treat for Daisy. Look, she sees me coming. She sees it. Hi, Daisy girl. All right, here you go. Oh, you're so strong. I hear you. Now, everyone, I know, Bella, you're the star, but right now we want to see Daisy. I can't wait until this whole pasture gives that to her. Right? Several of you have asked, and I thought I mentioned it before, maybe I did, but asking about, is there a pregnancy test for cows? Because, you know, we've just been guessing and waiting to see if she's showing and waiting to see movement in there. Yeah, there is. However, the ones that you can buy as like a single pack or 2-pack, they didn't get great reviews. And another homesteader who has a much bigger homestead than I have recommended a brand, and then I looked it up, and it's like a pack of 50 or something. Well, how long would it take me to go through a pack of 50? And I'm pretty sure they expire, so I just and it wasn't cheap, so we're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. All right, so with garlic, you want to pick, well, first of all, I have 3 different varieties here. Italian Late, Irish Eyes, and Early Italian Purple. These are all soft neck garlics, which grow the best here in our zone in the southern part of the United States. Hard neck garlic does better in northern climates where you get a nice cold winter. I have some hard neck garlic that a friend of mine, also Brian, at Blue Pumpkin Seed Company sent to me. They're in the fridge right now. So if you do hard neck garlic and you're in a southern zone, they got to be in the fridge for 6 to 8 weeks to give them that cold period that they need. Then you can go ahead and plant them. So I've still got 4 weeks to plant those. So with garlic, got to put the drip lines back down. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a trench next to each one of these drip tapes, about 2 inches deep. And then I'm going to sprinkle some Neptune's Harvest crab and lobster and kelp meal, which I mix the 2 in this bucket to make it easier, and just put a nice generous amount down that trench. Just work it into the bottom. Now we don't have to till this new planting mix in to the soil that was already in here. The worms will work it in for us. Now when it comes to your garlic, if you've never planted it before, you don't put this whole thing in the ground. You're going to break it apart just as if you were going to cook with it. Now I bought this from a nursery. However, there's plenty of times that I've gotten a sack of garlic at the grocery store, at Costco. If it's organic, it'll work just fine. However, the only difference between the two is I find that seed garlic, which comes from a nursery, tends to have more bigger sized cloves. Whereas the garlic you get at the grocery store for cooking, they might have some bigger ones toward the outside, but the ones on the inside are tiny. So whether it ends up being cheaper or not at Costco versus the grocery store in the long run, I don't know. I think that you're going to grow a much bigger plant and therefore a stronger, bigger garlic bulb with bigger cloves. So I'm going to push these into the soil where the tops are about an inch or so under the soil level, and I'm going to put them about 6 to 8 inches apart. So kind of visualize in your head or use one that you've already got as a spacer and just kind of use that as spacing, just a little elbow room on each side of them. So the garlic bulb itself is probably 2 to 3 inches wide, another 1.5 inches on each side. So 6 inches would be a good distance apart. Okay, I've got 4 rows planted. The ones I bought as seed garlic, that's 3 rows, and I had 2 more rows to fill. So I used some of this from Costco. It's not organic, but we're gonna give it a try anyway. And then on the last row, I've been saying, and every other gardener I've seen has been saying over the years, plant the biggest ones. I told you that, right? Plant the biggest ones because they grow the biggest plants, which grow the biggest bulbs. I have nothing of my own experience to back that up. So I thought it was about time that I did. So I'm taking some of the smallest ones that were in these bulbs, the small ones that I would normally take inside for cooking. And I'm going to plant this last row of all small cloves, a mixture of all 4 varieties. And then at the end of the season, we'll see what happens. Now this is part of a new plan I've got for next level gardening. Throughout this year, I'm going to be trying some experiments for different types of things. So we've got some right here, right? And then throughout the year on this channel, I'm going to take you through the process as I'm walking around giving you updates and stuff. I'll bring you over here and I'll show you what's going on, what I'm doing with the garlic. And then at the end of the year, for this and other experiments, you'll on this channel have gone through the whole thing, and then I'm going to take all of that video and condense it into a compilation of the actual process with the final results. So you guys who enjoy kind of more informal, longer videos will get all this stuff. And then the ones with the really short attention spans on Next Level Gardening, and if you're on both, I'm going to count you as this channel, they'll get the condensed version. Win-win. All right, I've got all 5 rows planted. Now it's time to throw on some mulch. I usually mulch with wood shavings, like pine shavings, or straw. Now I get a lot of viewers who might live in an urban area, or for whatever reason, they don't have easy access to these things. As I've said before, you can use whatever type of organic material that you want to use, something that's going to break down and be natural. My favorite are pine shavings and straw. And everyone asks where I get them. And I get them at a local feed store. It's pretty easy for me. We don't live in a super urban area, so they're pretty plentiful. But I had a company contact me this winter, and they actually sell pine straw and salt hay. And so I'm going to do this bed with half and half. Half pine straw and half salt hay. The thing about straw it's always a risk when you use straw. Not this kind of straw, but straw that comes in a bale at the feed store, because you never know if Grazon was sprayed on it. And if it was, that can be a problem for your plants, and that can actually last in your soil up to 3 years, the residue that comes off of that. So purchasing something like this does make a lot of sense if you don't have access to certified organic straw, which I'm telling you right now, it's hard to find. So anything I ever recommend that you actually need to purchase, I need to try it out first before I let you know what it is. So I'm not going to say the brand. I'll let you know in a few months once I've had time to see how this really works. All right, I've been stalling long enough. There's something. Well, I was going to say there's something I want to tell you. There's something I don't want to tell you, actually. And I considered not even mentioning it. Because I've told you before, people have strong opinions about things. Even when they don't even know what they're talking about, they have strong opinions. And we hear all those opinions all the time. People who hide behind their keyboard say a lot of things they wouldn't say to someone's face. So You guys know we have rabbits. That was the first animal we bought. We bought two Holland Lops. When we first moved in here, Emily really wanted a farm animal, and that was the first, easiest one we could think of. And we'd both had rabbits in the past. We had them in small cages in the garage, well, in the house when we first got them for like several months, and then in the garage. We don't have a huge house, so. And then, if you remember, I built a huge hutch for them in the cottage. I don't even remember when that was. A year ago? I don't know. And they didn't get the attention they needed up there. I felt like their lives could be better. Not that they loved attention. They would always run to the back of the hutch when we go out there. But I don't know. There's just something. I wasn't giving them the life that I thought they could have. So a few nights ago, Emily posted on a local, semi-local Facebook homesteading group. And we were going to rehome them. And we got somebody who sounded perfect. She asked what the rehoming fee was. She has rabbits. She has all kinds of animals. And she had an indoor spot for them, which would be cool. And she had kids. And so we made plans actually to take them to her or meet halfway today. And I was excited because I was excited for them. I was excited for the family that was getting them. And then yesterday morning, Noah went up to feed them, and he hadn't been gone that long. And he called me on my cell phone and he said, "You got to come up here right now." What happened? So I came up to the cottage and I was shocked at what I saw. If you can see, there is a hole in this wire, quite a big hole. I've been trying to do forensics to see what made the hole. It's been hard to see that though. But the bottom line was, both rabbits were gone. It's pretty high off the ground, so I'm not sure a raccoon could do this. If you guys have dealt with raccoons before, let me know what you think. It's probably 2.5 feet off the ground. I personally think that it was coyotes, and I say plural because there were 2 rabbits. 2 rabbits are gone. They're completely gone. They're not on our property. And I don't know. I don't feel like one coyote could get in there, and that was a lot of work, and then take one and then come back for the second one. That could happen. I don't know the behavior of coyotes. I have never been worried about that because of Bella. We've never had any issues with coyotes on our property since we got Bella. And that's when we felt comfortable putting the rabbits in the cottage. The problem is, and this is totally my fault, Bella, I think that was probably the first night that she was kenneled. Maybe the second night. I told you why we had to kennel her, right? So she was not able to save them. And what's really hard is I know she would have, because they were the first animals here that she bonded with. When we got her, the rabbits were still in the garage, and Bella, for the first week and a half, was in the garage in a kennel. So she really bonded with them in the garage, and then even now, on hot days, she'll go up there and actually, or even not on hot days, she'll go up there and lay in the cottage, sometimes a lot of times under the hutch. I don't know. Emily's just, heartbroken. We really felt that they were going to a better place, and they were going to get a lot more love and attention, and literally, the day we found this match, this happened. I don't know. I don't, what can I say? I'm sure we'll get hateful comments. Do we deserve them? I don't know. I know that wire was not strong enough to protect them from an animal like that, but with Bella, we didn't ever have to worry about that. I just never anticipated Bella would be locked up in a way that she could not do what she should and would do. So anyway, right now that cottage is a little bit of a depressing place. We won't be getting new rabbits, of course. We were rehoming those, so, but it's just a blow. You know, I'm thinking back, it's probably one of the biggest tragedies we've had here. We've had chickens die every once in a while, but, you know, I was used to that from even before we moved here, so it's different. It's different. They weren't meat rabbits, they were pet rabbits. Great manure factories, but they didn't deserve that way to go. So it'll take a bit to get over that. Anyway, I hate to leave a video on that note, but it's getting late. I'm going to clean up here, get inside, and I'll see you next time.